Hey everyone, you're listening to Ankur Warikoo on Voice with Warikoo. On this podcast, I talk to you about entrepreneurship, how to grow in life, manage personal finances, handle failures, and a lot more things that just come to my mind. The episode begins. One of my favorite questions that I ask quite often nowadays is this question that I am baffled by the fact very few people have an answer to. It is unbelievable how many people write to me seeking help, but that's not the unbelievable part. It's just a fact. God, that's such an immodest thing to say. I'm so sorry about that. It just came off that completely different from what I'd intended. Anyway, there are a lot of people who write into me every day seeking help. But it is unbelievable how, when I ask this question, they don't have an answer. The question is, how can I help you? How can I help you? Because here's what is important for all of you to recognize. If you do not have a very clear picture of how you need help, what is it that you need help on, and how the person that you're seeking help from can actually help you, you will always struggle to get help. You will always struggle to find help. So, in this podcast episode, I wanted to talk about mistakes that people make while seeking help in the hope that you don't make the same mistakes and you learn from everything that I get to witness from a very grateful vantage point of just the fact that people reach out. That's why I know where most of them falter and where some of them who I end up helping do a good job than everyone else. Seeking help is the most fundamental way of learning. When, when we think of seeking help, we mostly think people. But if we broaden the definition, it becomes obvious that we can seek help from anything. It could be books, it could be videos, it could be tools, it could be podcasts. The key is, what are you seeking help for? And I think the first thing is recognizing that there's a difference between knowledge, help, and advice. Here's the difference. Knowledge is what one needs to know. It's the basics, the foundation, something that today, frankly, a Google search can get you. So it's like, oh, you know what? I want to raise money for my startup, but I don't even know what are the different stages of startup. That's not help. That's knowledge. Oh, I want to apply to US, Canadian, Australian universities, but I don't know what the admission process is. That's not help. That's knowledge. Something that a Google search can give you, something that's documented, something that's available in abundance. And if you seek this knowledge from someone, then you're frankly being very lazy. And the person will very rarely respect you, especially if they respect their own time, because what they will see is that you don't respect their time because you just haven't spent any energy in trying to find the answer to something that you could have on your own. Help, on the other hand, is what you seek when you're stuck, when you've attempted something and it isn't working. Help is what you need when you have no idea what to do next, or everything that is available as knowledge isn't helping. So you now have to rely on someone's experience and not just the fact that someone has knowledge. So here's an example. I want to apply outside, let's say to US, Australian, Canadian, wherever it is. And the knowledge part was, what's the admission process? The help is, I need help on my SOP because I have written it. I know exactly what purpose it needs to serve. I know where it will get me. But as I'm reading it, I'm just stuck because it just doesn't read right. I know something's missing and I'm struggling to find what's missing and I need some help. Or I am trying to get a job and I know what the application process for this company is. I know what the interview process for this company is. I've gone through everything that is available publicly on how to prepare for it. But here's where I need help. I need help in bridging the gap between the qualification I have and the requirements that they have for the job. Because I don't think I'm able to articulate that in a manner that the company will receive it well. That's help. So we seek knowledge when we are starting, but we seek help when we have attempted something. And that's the key. You have attempted something already and you're stuck, and that's why you seek help. So it's wrong to say, I need help with how to write a resume. No, what you need is knowledge. What you need is knowledge around resume formats, around common mistakes, do's and don'ts, and so on. The right thing is, I've applied, gotten rejected at the resume stage itself, I've made changes, and still nothing's happening. I need help to figure out where am I going wrong. Advice, on the other hand, is what we seek or need when we have to identify ways of doing something. It's just like, I'm confused between economics or maths as my core subject. Do you have any advice for me? And advice, I think, rests between knowledge and help. When we get advice instead of help, or we get help instead of advice, our needs are not met. And that's why knowing the difference is key to getting help. Number two is you don't even know where you need help. And that's a common mistake. Because most of us are confused between knowledge, help, and advice, we rarely know where we need help. So to cover our base, we ask for generic help. And that happens so frequently with me. It's like, hey, how can I help you? Oh, I need your help on fundraising, on team building, on marketing. This is actually an email, true story. Oh, how can I help you? Oh, I need help in finding me a job. Sorry, that's not useful. If you ask for generic help, you will get generic help. Things that lack insight, they are something that you already knew, they are not helpful. And the truth is that the best help is very specific, but it will only come to you if you're very specific around where do you need help. The best help usually follows the CAR approach, something called context, actions, results. So when you're seeking the best form of help, you start with the context. What is your context? What is it that I should know about you, or something about your past, something about your present that will help me? Then it follows the actions. What are the actions you've taken already? And then what were the results? And the results could be results that didn't work out. You stuck, and that's why you need help. But when you give me the context, you give me the actions that you've gone through, and you've given me the results that you've gotten, you are seeking really good quality help because it's specific. This approach will lead you to the best books. It will lead you to the best videos. It will lead you to the best podcasts. It will lead you to the best people who can help you. Third mistake while seeking help: being disrespectful of people's time. The best way to get help is to actually make it easy for people to help you. But most people don't. I want to be respectful of your time, so I'll keep it short. I'm confused in my career and I don't know what to do. Please help. True story. An email I got. I am looking to connect with investors, so I need help. Attached is my business plan. Please let me know of your feedback. Actual email that I got. Both these emails are terrible when it comes to seeking help because they lack empathy. They make it hard for the person that they want help from to help them. Because in order to help them, they will actually have to spend time understanding the context, synthesizing it, then figuring out how they can be of help. And that's not something that most people might want to do. If you're telling me, here's the business plan or here's the deck, can you give me your feedback? What you're essentially saying is, hey, why don't you download that deck, go through it, spend your time on it, gather your thoughts on it, give me feedback. And that is not what's going to happen. As again, someone saying, hey, this is a deck. I think I'm good with it. But slide number 7, I don't have a good feeling about that because here's the context, here is the action, here is the result, and this is where I need help. Super powerful. When seeking help, help them see how they can help. When seeking help them see how they can help. Mistake number 4, assuming on their behalf of being apologetic, a disaster in the making. Here's the truth: no one wants to help those who start with, "Oh, I'm sorry for saying this, but," or those who say, "I know this isn't worth your time, but I'm going to give it a shot." You've instantly lost respect. Do not assume on the behalf of others. Do not undersell your need for help. You need help, it is important for you, go ahead and ask for it. If it's important for the other person, they will help. If it isn't, they might not help. And that's okay too. But it isn't about you. It is about the fact that you are doing something that is important, and then you leave the decision for finding the same level of importance at the other person and in their hands. You leave the decision in their hands. Let them take that. And number 5, common mistake when people seek help is not to share progress. Most people help because it makes them feel good about themselves. I do that too for that reason. But nothing makes me happier than to know that my help actually helped someone. And a common mistake that people make is not to return to those who helped you. Reach out to those who helped you. Tell them how they helped you. It completes the cycle of help and it feeds the desire to help even more. If you tell me this is how my help helped you, I will feel inspired to help so many more people. And that circle is beautiful. Seeking help, my friends, is one of the most courageous and the precious things that you can do in your life. It ties in wonderfully with my biggest life lesson: if you do not ask, the answer is always no. But seeking help is also an art. If you know how to seek help the right way, imagine the opportunities it can create for you. It's unfortunate that this life skill is never taught to us formally. I wish there was a core course in every school and every college around how to seek help. But in the absence of that, we're left with no choice but to learn from doing. So go ahead and ask for help today. To be notified of upcoming episodes, be sure to subscribe and follow the show on this app right now. Also, don't forget to rate and review the show because that just feels nice. Thank you. If you like this podcast episode, then please remember to subscribe to the channel because every week you will be notified.